So I heard that you were on Southwest Military and you were like on one of those videos on the back of a truck. Is that no? Was that somebody else or you
It was
not?
a
You
different
weren't going?
Susia.
We would like to take this moment to pause this video to let you all know, our beloved audience, that yes, this episode was pre-recorded and we all live in a reality now where the New York Knicks have won the NBA Finals. Go Spurs, go!
Hey everyone, it is Lawson with my co-host Don, and this is another episode of 2 Texas Teas. And we are here just to kind of get an update and give an update on all things Texas and even some other different opinions on what's going on. Like we're gonna get some pop culture in here, right, Don? We're gonna talk about obsession,
Yep.
as well as Don's dating life, because it wouldn't be an episode of 2 Texas Teas if we did not also talk about Don's dating life. So jump right in. We are talking everything from Texas, this last runoff, to obsession, to what is Don's favorite animal and why that is fantastic. And also, hey, I don't know if you recognize, but the Spurs, we are still in it, baby. We are still in this final series, and we're going to talk about why Spurs fans are better than the Knicks fans. So let's jump right into it. Not this, Susia.
I'm just saying, from the outside looking in, I've only ever been, I was gonna say two, I've only ever been honking once, and I guess this is the year everybody's doing it. But all my friends on my social media feed are a mixture of like San Antonio, Austin, and then where I was beforehand. And all the people that I knew beforehand are like, your city that you represent, that you talk about so much, is so hood and so ghetto. And I was like, I don't know, it seemed kind of fun to me. I don't know, just it looks like people are having a great time, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is the right term, unadulterated fun. Like people just like, I'm gonna just do
Hell
whatever.
yeah.
And it's like, this
We are
sounds
using
like a
our
great
free
time.
will.
Exactly.
100%.
Now,
We've leaned into free will.
the videos might just be the most extreme versions of it. And yes, there'd be a lot of twerking going on, and there's a lot of drinking, and then there's a lot of fighting and a lot of fireworks. But I'm a fan of the ratchet, so I have to say it looks fun from my perspective. So if I were down there, and
We've had a fatality, and that is
Yes.
awful. I mean, a boy ended up falling out of a vehicle and was
Mhm.
brain dead, and they ended up having to take him off of life support. So
Mm.
that has happened, but that is an outlier of a situation, luckily.
Mhm.
It's just people getting rowdy. Free
Mhm.
conchas are passed out along the caravan that's going on. Fireworks are now showing up, which is wild. But I just feel like
that's illegal in Bear
this
County.
time around, this time around is just a little, it's different, because when the last time I went honking, we won.
Mhm.
And I don't recall honking being a thing unless you won the whole,
Won a game.
like you won the ship. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
it's like
so
every
like,
game.
like right now it's every game. Like every game in the playoffs has been like, if we win, we honk. And that wasn't how it used to be, Don. It used to just be like, you go if you win. And so the last time I went, I was very pregnant with Luke, and there my ass is in the passenger seat of Larry's truck, and we are honking downtown. And I remember like people had like the LeBron jerseys, and they were like throwing them on overpasses for people to run over. There were like Dunkin' fatheads everywhere. It was a time. So it's pretty cool that like Luke's getting to like understand this, and like he's like out of the womb getting to figure this out. But yeah, we want to take him honking, probably downtown, not Southwest Military.
South side's the best side, though. Everybody knows that.
I just don't feel like he's old enough for that yet.
You gotta hit him like
listen,
this.
we need
Hey,
to
don't look that
initiate
way.
him.
Hey, don't look this way.
Yeah, we need to initiate him. You start downtown and you work your way
To
more
South side?
Susia. So yes.
I will always rip the south side of San Antonio. I don't think that's the side that most outsiders come to for the first time, but that unfortunately or fortunately, that's how work took me. And from that point on, I was like, you know what? I love the ratchet. But I mean, not all Southsiders like that. But when you see the videos, you're like, man, them people down there tripping. But then
Let me tell you, I love
I'd
it.
be with them. I'd be with them. So.
Hey everyone, thank you for coming to our ad break. This is for all the folks that would love to be a part of our 2 Texas Tea podcast in a way such as sponsoring. So if you are interested in wanting to be a part of the podcast and share your information about your business or what you're doing, you can always send us your inquiry or your interest by going to emailing us on our email address right here below, or following us on social media and sending us a message, or checking out our website. So we hope to hear from you soon, and we would love to be able to showcase what you're doing. We did go, so it is very difficult to find Spurs gear in San Antonio for obvious reasons. So I did take Luke down Southwest Military so we can check up all the pop-ups that are there. So here is, and you'll have an opinion on this one. Luke was not a fan with all the AI decals that have been printed on these t-shirts, because he was like, listen, Luke knows his sports people. Like, he knows his athletes. He knows what their faces look like. And he was like,
Yeah.
That's not Harper's face. Like, they're trying to make him, whenever he like makes like a face, and that's not what his face looks like. His eyes are too close together. And from afar, the shirt looks like it's going to be badass. And then you get up close and you're like,
who the hell is this?
Wendy. Like, who is this? And like, because like I want, and I'm probably going to have to design it myself and then send it off to get done. I want a shirt that says I believe in aliens, and it's like, you know, like real UFO-y, and they don't have anything like that. But everything has been like, listen, I'm tired of the Chat GPT font, Don.
Everybody
and I know we
is.
use it on here.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna hold your hand when I say I'm tired of the Chat GPT font. Like, it has become like the Comic Sans of 2026, and I'm so tired of it. And I feel like it's like these shirts are lacking creativity and lacking authenticity than I think like previous years before. So yeah, Luke and I we were like, this is so AI, and this doesn't even make sense. And who the fuck is this man? This is a hot tea.
The
hot
AI. First of all,
AI
the
Spurs shirts
are not getting their cut. And number two, people want to be capitalists and go down there and sell soulless Spurs t-shirts made from Chat GPT. I use AI quite a bit, as people may not who know me on this episode, on this show, and then I like emerging technology, and I like to do design. But as someone who uses AI quite a bit, all of them, Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, and then I've even Grokked once or twice. I will tell you, the more you use it, the more you're like, this is absolutely terrible. Like, especially when it comes to design, like there's no way. Maybe 50 years from now, I mean, I don't like to say nothing, it will never happen, but as it is used right now, it's a combination between like AI just being really terrible at design, and then people just being real lazy about it. It's just like, I'll just throw a fake castle on there, we'll take the picture and I'll steam it onto a shirt and I'll sell it for $10, and boom, I just made some money. Like, that's not what it's about. And then I guess on top of what you're saying too, is from what I'm understanding, so when you went honking before, we were not in a saturated social media age as we are now. So perhaps the reason why it's a little bit more crazier now is that because people can see it on their phones and be like, man, them people down there are going crazy. All these girls out here doing whatever. You know what? I'm going to go down there and be just as crazy as they are. And so now I know SAPD is probably like, oh my God, man. Like,
they're all down there. Right? Yeah. 100%. It is. Like, it is wild. They're tired.
Oh my God. Oh, it's just well. I mean, it's it's a lot. One of the reasons why I was happy that the Knicks and the Spurs made it to the finals is because you have like two fan bases that either or could destroy the city based on who wins the championship.
Okay. Let's talk about the Knicks fans, because I was personally attacked by Knicks fans on social media. And listen, I don't mind a constructive back and forth. We just had we just recorded an episode and recently, and I don't like LeBron James. It is very known. And you and our guest do. And I can handle some healthy, shit talk. You know what I mean? That is totally fine. What escalated on my threads was absolutely not okay, to where I had to and I don't like to do this because I don't like to be the bitch that's like, I can't handle it, but it got really overwhelming. I had to limit my comment section and reduce it to only the people that follows, because they went from just you're are we watching the same game? What are you talking about? So the thread was if let the refs play fair. If you're not going to fucking throw like blow a whistle on the Knicks for doing their shady shit, then don't fucking blow a whistle on the Spurs. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, Spurs are getting away with murder and and like went off. And it's like, okay, fine. Like, you want to say that we're not watching the same game? Like, that's whatever. Like, I don't care. Then it went to be like, are you a fucking idiot? You must be stupid. Oh, she has a clown nose in her profile pictures because she's a fucking clown. Like, are you dumb?
Yeah.
Like moronic, or like literally then started going after me, and I'm like, what is your problem? Like,
Yeah,
it
who are
got
y'all?
like
Like-
nasty and like escalated to a point where I'm like, my guys, like, I'm just saying, like, if we want to play street ball, fuck yeah, let's play street ball. But like, I wasn't trying to like let's play. Like, I don't care. Like, I think that there should be more blood on the court, because that's
It is a
basketball.
contact
Like,
sport.
hell yeah. And it's the finals. Like, I want there to be competition. I want it to feel like, you know, what we're battling for it. As a Spurs like fan, I want our boys to show up. And I have nothing but respect for the Knicks team, because I mean, you can tell they're hungry for it. Brunson, for as much as I'm just like, oh, he needs eye patches under his eyes because my boy's 29 and he looks like he's 40. Like, he's a hell of a player. Obviously, like, get that man a bagel. Or bring him to Texas and get him a fucking breakfast taco. Maybe that'll help his damn, like, facial expressions. Like, this team is great, and it's giving the Spurs some competition, and I think that's phenomenal. It is honestly, like, experience versus youth on that court, and you see it. It is a phenomenal series as far as, like, just the waltz that these two teams are playing, but these fans are fucking awful. And for the they don't like, the fans don't deserve this. Like, wait another 50 years, because like, fuck y'all. Like, the fans are absolutely disgusting.
You heard it here.
I said it
first on Two Texas
That's my
Teas
hot
podcast.
tea take.
You can comment on the Two Texas Teas about your fandom of the Knicks and why the Knicks, to some people's words on this podcast, might be horrible fans. But you know, we'll
apparently I'm a bandwagoner.
Yeah, you
apparently
just
I don't
now
know anything. They
became
were
a
like,
Spurs.
one of the comments was like, oh, so why is it that just a week ago you were commenting on this? I'm like, seriously?
Wow.
Like, no, my 1998 Spurs Barbie back here, and I have some questions for you, because I remember when we played the Knicks the last time and we won. I was alive.
Internet trail of you cheering for the Spurs for a decade now. You only just now tweeted about this or threaded about this, so therefore you just now became a Spurs fan, because you know everything is social media rated. So you know, if you're not real on social media, you're not really real at all. So you know, it's tough to be in the band. How does it feel to be a bandwagoner? And what team did you cheer for before the Spurs? You know, just
I mean, right? Aja Wilson. We were talking WNBA. Fuck that. Like, bring more this, and this is why women's sports are better than men's sports, because here we are. I mean, let me tell you, the one concern about
fans, there's a lot of battle going on online right now between Caitlin Clark fans and the rest of the WNBA.
It's sassy. I honestly feel like I'm glad that Caitlin Clark held the hand of folks to come and understand the importance of women's sports, but I think that she's also like put the torch down to light it up for everybody in women's sports and the WNBA. I also feel like people don't give enough credit to Kobe Bryant, who was literally like he was funding and investing in women's sports before he died, and because he had daughters, and his daughter, who was obviously with him and tragically died, he was putting her in position to be part of the WNBA and getting her involved in basketball because she loved it. And so I think that hopefully his legacy is that he invested into the WNBA, he invested in women's sports, and now we're seeing more of that platform grow. And I think that he'd be very proud of that by seeing people like Caitlin Clark, Aja Wilson, you know, our fucking former Spurs coach. Like, look at her. Like, we have championships Becky? Like over there. Like the Spurs organization on the women's side, they're killing it, man. They're fucking, they are running the WNBA. And I think that is like something to definitely like hang our hat on. And we need to acknowledge that more. So go women.
To kind of connect this hot tea take of the Spurs in the finals to a few other topics, we kind of put out, we wrote an article on LinkedIn, so you can go check it out. But it's really interesting, the connection between New York and San Antonio, at least politically, in the last year, because both cities elected, I guess, more progressive, left-leaning mayors. both outsiders. And shortly after they get elected, both their teams end up in the finals. I don't know. Maybe that's a coincidence. But for the Texas angle of it all, do you think this helps or hurts the Spurs push for a new arena?
100%, I think it helps them. Honestly, one of the reasons why I hadn't really been saying anything about the Spurs this season is because of like my mixed feelings about Project Marvel and
Hmm.
about the Spurs arena being on the ballot. I didn't feel like we should be helping billionaires buy this when they can buy it themselves.
Hmm.
And so that's why I've had some, mixed feelings on it, but I think it 100% does help them to support their argument on it. I think it was very unfortunate. We had some people, some sports analysts and commentators that came down here and were kind of talking shit about where our current stadium is, being, somebody I think had made a comment kind of alluding to like it being in the ghetto and like the places around here is kind of ratchet. Like there were a lot of like insults to where our current stadium is, and I think that's unfortunate because people live here. Um,
Hmm.
and this it is a reflection of the broken promises that our leadership did make for us to create a thriving community around that area. This is going to be stadium number 3, so they better get it right this fucking time. But I do think that it does. I want to say the biggest like pride that I have as a San Antonian is the amount of spotlight that it's put on on our small businesses, our restaurants, our service industry. Like folks are coming here and being like, dude, yes, y'all have the best breakfast tacos. Like the food here is amazing. The community is amazing. Like I want an abuela. Like where do I get one of her? Like I mean,
Hmm.
people are like loving the culture of San Antonio, and the businesses are the ones that are thriving with all this. And I love to see it because I think that we needed this as a community coming out of 2020. It's been a very, very slow heal economically, and so to see our hotel, our occupancy community, our service community, our small businesses, everybody is thriving. And we talked about it earlier about like how there's a bunch of non-licensed Spurs merch out there. Go support the local business. We've even had like Spurs wives that are like featuring these like small businesses and are like begging, like, if you're a small business that has Spurs merch, let me know because I want to support you. So
Hmm.
I 100% think it does. It has helped justify why it's critical that we have a place for folks to come visit.
It is pretty funny, the kind of underlying narratives of the Spurs going through the playoffs. Because I mean, ESPN and all the other sports broadcasting networks do this. Like they kind of pick up stories, and then social media is really good at it. Whether it's the nuns or those two women,
Yeah.
or
The
every time
OnlyFans
the
women.
OnlyFans models that are not from here. Apparently, they're from Dallas, as everyone has been saying.
I
It's
didn't know
just
that.
really well. I mean, I don't know where they are exactly from, but when they first was shown on like your phone, people were like, "Oh yeah, these people are not from here." Just kind of effed up because it's a backhanded it's a backhanded, I guess, not compliment, but statement saying like nobody from San Antonio can look like that, so technically they're not from here. Which is, I guess, that's part hot tea too. But it is pretty interesting. Um, Wemby is becoming my favorite player in the NBA after
Yeah.
LeBron. So one goes out, one comes in. I got to say, Castle is another favorite player of mine.
I like
I
Castle.
actually, I mean, honestly, the whole makeup of this team is very. So
They're
I'm not a bat.
babies. Average
I'm not
age
a
is 23.
23. I'm not a bandwagon
Yeah.
fan, but I am the newest fan out of the two. And I became a Spurs fan in like 2018. The Spurs technically are the first NBA team I've ever went to. Like the saw game live. And I've been
That's awesome.
to, I don't know, like a handful of Spurs games. And the last game I went to actually was Wemby during his rookie year. A friend of mine took me to the game. So I saw Wemby up close, and he is actually as tall as they say he is.
Yeah.
But even like wherever I go, like I feel like I will definitely be a Spurs fan for the rest of my life because they have that memory. Like they're the first NBA team. And I do like how the team is kind of constructive. I do like organizations that seem to be like, we know what we're doing and we'll stay level headed and we'll stay below the radar and we'll just build our team. Whereas
Hmm.
if you are let's say a Cowboys fan and your owner is out there all the time and your team's success is kind of like, then it makes it kind of harder from people from the outside to be like, I'm gonna be them. But the Spurs feel like
Yeah.
they're a franchise that maybe every, I don't know, every 6, 7, 8 years, a decade, they'll be back in the finals. And if you can, as a fan, you feel like I can rock with that. So
I think that it's also, Mr. Holt, Pop, Robinson, they have military backgrounds, and it's been
Mhm.
said, they really restructured what they took charisma and personality and put them into the formula of who they bring into this team. Like,
Mhm.
there's no egos on this team, and that is intentional. I remember when Kawhi Leonard and his family were like, well, we want more money and we want all this, and they're like, get the va-and-vien, like, you can leave, like, bye, because they don't fuck with egos here. Like, you have an ego, you're gone. And I
Mhm.
think that has also been so important to the success of the Spurs, is that they are truly athletes that your kids can look up to. And they're the type of, they have a genuine sportsmanship that is nice. Also, fucking Wimby reading, and he's a
Painting,
sci-fi guy,
reading, playing
painting in the
chess,
park. I
wearing
love my
his
little artistic alien. He's so
traditional.
precious.
I don't know what the outfit was called, but when he walked in there on Game 7 wearing his
With the
traditional,
monk, yes.
yeah,
A
the outfit.
Buddhist.
Yes. No. It
Buddhist.
it was Islamic, I believe. It was from his I think
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
his
yeah.
dad, influence. But
Phenomenal. And I think that that's amazing. I mean, Dylan Harper and just,
mhm.
they're just babies. And I love it. I love it. They're precious. And you know what? It's been interesting because I think we've been so used to seeing, Coach Pop just busting vein vessels out there on the sidelines, and Mitch isn't like that. Like, he
No.
also, I cannot get over, like, when he does interviews, Don, like, his voice does not match his face.
No, it doesn't. It's
It is wild.
the memes of him are hilarious. I mean, he doesn't. There are
Yeah.
not that many memes that come out about him, but at the same time, it is like he doesn't. Well, so I've told you
You
this
know
behind the
what?
scenes that
I want him and Patrick Mahomes to interview each other, because I think that'd be the best fucking interview in the entire, because their voices are just so wild on two totally different, like, on the same spectrum, just on opposite
yeah,
sides.
you see Patrick Mahomes, he's like, all right, and he talks to you, and you're like, is you Elmo?
Kermit
Kermit? Sorry, yeah,
and the
Kermit.
Grouch. Kermit
Yeah,
and the
like
Grouch.
so it would like I've told you that Wemby looks like a spitting image of my childhood best friend,
Yes.
and then Mitch looks like the spitting image of my childhood best friend's cousin. I know that doesn't make
Oh my
sense,
God, that's
but if I
awesome.
would show you a picture of them, you'd be like, yeah, they look pretty similar. Like, that's very strange. So every time, I mean, throughout this entire playoff run, I've been messaging my friend, like, bro, I was like, you sure you ain't like disappear somewhere? And then back like I don't know, when 22 years ago, how old would he have been? Okay, that would have been probably physically impossible, but at the same time, it would be pretty interesting. But so yeah, that can be a hot tea take. Can I do a
Yes,
controversial tea?
100%.
This has nothing really to do about Texas, but it is about the movie Obsession that came out, and I told you I wanted to I have thoughts on it. So the movie Obsession is about a guy and his girlfriend, and the girlfriend, I guess, slowly reveals over the time that she's like more demonic in nature. And a lot of my social media feed, and I guess a lot of the conversation has been going on two things. One, that these two YouTube directed movies or YouTube movies of Backrooms and Obsession are outbeating like Hollywood features, which is hilarious in first part. So just still hope for the Two Texas Tees movie whenever that comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, before I continue, who do you want to play you in the Two Texas Tees movie?
Marissa Tomei.
Okay. I like
Yes.
it. I like it.
She is I love her. I've been obsessed with her since My Cousin Vinny, and if anybody can make me seem cooler,
Spider-Man?
it would be Marissa Tomei. Oh man. See what I'm saying? Like, I want to be her. She plays a badass mom. She plays a badass girlfriend who knows shit about cars and tire track. Like, I mean, this woman is versatile, and people sleep on her. I fucking love Marissa Tomei. I'd want her to play me.
Didn't she go to HBCU?
Or Zendaya. Fuck that, right?
Yeah, you can do that.
Did
So,
she?
I think so. I think I've heard that somewhere. Marissa Tomei might have. But so and the second thing is basically, so I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, a lot of people on my feed are gravitating towards these like this caricature of this woman in the movie, and she seems to be very manipulative, very like taking a lot of things that women do in relationships to stereotypically and taking it to the max, to the point where the guy is basically in the movie is like, what's wrong with you? Like, who am I dating? Like, what's really going on?
Yeah.
As this woman gets obsessed, and she prevents him from doing things. and kind of controls his life and goes further than that without really having spoilers about it. But one of the things I was thinking of, I was like, is this really a caricature? Like, why do so many men gravitate towards this movie? Is this really a caricature? Then I started thinking about some of the women that I have known in my life, not necessarily like just dated, but women that I known other people to date. And then I try to match, like, well, have I ever seen someone in my real life like act the way this woman does in the movie based off of what people are saying in the social media comments? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I have known girlfriends who will prevent them from going out because, we're supposed to be having a good time together, which is one of the scenes in the movie. Or I've known friends who are talking to someone and the girl that they're talking to is like, yeah, I like you, but at the same time I'm talking like five other dudes at the same time. And then what I kind of like I'm trying to say is that I think there's an underlying current of a lot of men online and throughout society that perhaps have dated women who are not the best of people, but because of the way social media is, maybe those voices don't get highlighted. And a lot of what we've talked about on our podcast and stuff as far as, like, first of all, yeah, we live in a patriarchy, and so whenever a woman has a grievance against something, we tend to like focus on that beforehand. But whenever a man has a grievance on something, this is a very controversial take. Whenever the man has something to say about a relationship, people kind of just like, all right, man, don't worry about it. Like, I mean, it is what it is. We joke about it, like, haha, my girlfriend's crazy, or my girlfriend's like this, and then we all kind of joke about it. But underneath the surface, then I started to think about this like over the last few weeks. Well, the manosphere on podcasts and stuff has grown exponentially over the last 5 years. There must be some catalyst for that. I would even say perhaps our current president is a reflection of a lot of people's feelings towards, like, women in general. So they kind of put all their chips in and his administration being like, you can be the great man symbol for the rest of us. And then now we have this movie, and it just seems like underneath the surface, maybe, I mean, I will say probably also is like, men and women truly understanding each other might be really difficult to do because, we're different. But I don't know. It seems like you have bad actors on both sides. Like, I would say if
Yeah.
there's a percentage of it, I would say maybe you have like 20 to 30% of women that you can potentially date in the United States. They're probably just like, I know that I'm sailing on the coattails of different movements, but truth be told, I'm a really terrible person, and I get into these dates and I manipulate the men that I'm with. I try to control them. I force them to do things, and then I can just disappear into miasmas. Whereas on the men's side of things, every time a man tries to do something like that, it gets blown up because it's like, this is probably what we're coded to see. So, and then I mean, we all know that a lot of women have experienced these things behind the scenes. And then last thing I tried to say was like, do I know? So as I was saying earlier, I know a lot of women who have emulated some of the things that this woman has done in the movie. But then when I try to think about it, do I know a lot of the men who have emulated a lot of like bad actors that I see on like social media when you have like executives taking advantage of women or abusing them and stuff? And I had to be like, well, yeah, I know a few of them, but the ratio between the women who emulate bad things in the movie and the men who emulate bad things in social media news, I think is skewed towards the women, which is a very controversial take. So I don't know. It was just an interesting observation. There's more I could say on it, obviously, but I had more of my thoughts before I got on the podcast.
I think you're right. I will say, I mean, we've kind of done a reverse, because remember, like, back in the day, we would be like, boys, it would be boys, like, oh my goodness, that's just gym locker talk, whatever. And we've kind of punctured a hole in like being like, no, that doesn't stand anymore on like the feminist side. But we haven't ever talked about like what that looks like for like women who exude like excessive amounts of toxic behavior, right? Because like we joke it off as like, oh, that's just you're Latina for you, and it's like, that's not a red flag. That's just, like try dating a woman of color. Like, that's what you get when you date a woman of color. Like, we've made it soft to be more digestible, but it's not okay either. Like, we don't hold women accountable for bad behavior. And maybe because it typically isn't as extreme as male bad behavior, and we still live in a very misogynistic universe. But what I have liked is like, again, I'm more on Threads than I am on Twitter. And there are many times where like a woman will say something and another woman will be like, my girl, please don't make me side with a man on this. but like you're being kind of like you are the problem. And like women holding other women accountable has become more normalized. And I think that that's great because I think that we should see more men hold men accountable. That's something that I feel like we need to grow more on. But women are holding more women accountable. And I think that that's important for our society because it's one thing when a woman tells a man, like, hey, shut the fuck up. It's another thing when like a man tells a woman to shut the fuck up. Like, we're not going to handle that. But like if a woman tells a woman and a man tells a man, like, hey, like, don't make me side with a guy right now. Like, I don't want to side with a guy, but like, my girl, you're the problem. And that's not okay. Like, I
I
think
don't
we need
think
to
that
see
happens
more
a
of
lot.
that.
Yeah, you're right. They're
Yeah.
holding somebody that you know who does something terrible accountable. I feel like on both sides does not happen that much. So I was going to add that to
Yeah.
the comment. Like when you see stories of men doing terrible things to women, if you go to the comment section, it's very rarely do you see a man saying like, yeah, he effed up. And then on the flip side of it, you don't see that much for women as well. So I think it's more so we don't like to call out bad behavior for some reason of like, it's weird. It's weird. You're like, you should be kind of universal across the board, being like, this should not be a thing that we should tolerate at all. But I mean, apparently, is maybe secretly we say that, but on social media comments, which is not the best judge of society, it is kind of like
No.
we don't call people out for bad behavior. So right now, well, go ahead. I'll finish my statement.
No. You finish it because I'm gonna go off into a side quest.
All right. And I guess through the movie and everything, it's just really funny how my feed has changed pretty quickly. Like I like to control my feed and my algorithm. I don't like it when I start getting fed stuff that I was like, I don't care about the obsession movie like at all. But then when you go to these comments and these posts are going viral, and all these people, all these men are like, yeah, my girlfriend does this, or my ex did this, or my wife does this. You just start to think, you're like, man, is this bigger issue than we know about? Like what really happens?
So like,
is this movie
gonna increase the rate of divorces and breakups, you think?
No, I don't. I feel like if it was easy enough for people to just be like, the first red flag, I'm out, then I think people would do it. But I think on either side, a lot of the men were saying in the comment section that, yeah, my wife does this, but I chose this life, so it is what it is. And I was like,
he gets laid.
Yeah, exactly. So he picks up. He's all right with it. I mean, I respect it. If this is the life that you chose and you stay in it, and then we live in a patriarchy, and that's what you want to do, that's fine. I mean, I guess on the other hand, there's probably men that get these experiences, and then they're probably like, this is the worst person I've ever talked to. But every time I try to tell people, nobody believes me. So then it's like, yeah. So weird. Dating and relationships have been weird, will ever forever be weird, and social media makes it weird. Not weird, and it's like you don't understand it. It's just that you're two individuals trying to live one life, and I feel like
makes it complicated.
It makes it complicated, not weird. So weird is not the right. It's it will always forever be complicated.
Have you seen the animal experiment? The favorite animal experiment? What's your favorite animal and why, Don?
My favorite animal. So if I say dog, well, I don't know. What is my favorite animal? You might. I'm about to go on a tangent and tell you that I don't do favorites.
Oh my God.
As a little kid, when they were asked me what my favorite color is, I said I don't want to choose. I like all the colors.
Wow, Don. For this experiment, what is your favorite animal and why would it be your favorite animal? Like, what about that animal would you say this is why?
This is a very difficult question.
Hey everyone, thank you for coming to our ad break. This is for all the folks that would love to be a part of our Two Texas Tea podcast in a way such as sponsoring. So if you are interested in wanting to be a part of the podcast and share your information about your business or what you're doing, you can always send us your inquiry or your interest by going to emailing us on our email address right here below, or following us on social media and sending us a message, or checking out our website. So we hope to hear from you soon, and we would love to be able to showcase what you're doing.
So when I was younger, I used to like killer whales because I used to think that they were interesting because while they are whales, they still hunted in packs and they were incredibly intelligent. And then I guess Shamu had a lot to do with that when I was younger because I saw him and I was like, yo, get my man Shamu out of here, man. Y'all got this man swimming in a pool. This is evil. So for a long time, I liked killer whales and I was enthralled by them. And then obviously most guys like lions because they're also. I mean, we have the king of the jungle thing. It's a very difficult one. I used to like Black Panthers a lot, and this is even before Black Panther the movie came out. I don't know. I just thought it was really unique how they looked. So big cats and
These are all great responses, by the way. I'm very proud of you.
This is what was I looking up recently? There are types of fish that live in mud puddles, and they don't live in the sea or in large bodies of water. They just basically make their bodies go inert for a little bit of time, and then when the water comes back from rain, they activate again. I just thought that was very interesting. Also, the Portuguese man of war. I feel like that that is not favorite animal, but that animal has always been very fascinating to me because it lives forever. It's just really weird, and I don't know. Those are some. So.
I love this so much for you. So there was this experiment, and I guess it started on either like Tinder or Hinge or whatever, where women would put the prompt was, what's your favorite animal and why? Because whatever men would respond typically was the type of woman they were looking for. So like, if like one guy put like, oh, I like dogs because they're loyal and obedient, then that's what they're looking for in a woman. So somebody else had put like, you know, I love elephants because they remember they have a great sense of memory and they're you know, they're kind, they're gentle giants. So it's like, oh, okay, that's what you're looking for. So it was very interesting to kind of see the dynamic of like what men would say about an animal, because then that secretly was showing like the characteristics that they were looking for as far as a woman. So for you to be like, they're weird and they do things that are interesting and unique, and I'm like, I love this for you. And you're like, I don't like that Shamu was in like a like, let Shamu be. And it's like, yes, let the woman be. Like, let her explore the world. Like, you
interesting.
Are a king. But then you were like, lions because they're kings. I'm like, no, sit down. But it's like everything else that you said, we love.
All right.
I love this for
I guess
you.
if that is the metaphor, then I guess
you passed the vibe check.
I mean, it probably would ask, because people will ask me and like, what's your type? And I mean, this might not just be strictly for like who I like to date, but I have had friends that have been like, you seem to have a lot of different circles of people that you can hang out with, and you seem to be able to adapt to those circles. So perhaps me not having a favorite animal means that I every animal is unique in its own way, and I like to explore each animal, and perhaps
but
at this time,
the string that connects them all is intelligence, uniqueness.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
adaptability is also it, and also assertiveness, because all of these animals are very assertive. So very great characteristics that you like are like attracted to in women, and I stand this. I think that this experiment is actually true.
The rainbow just went over with the star. Just went over the head.
The more you know.
I guess I'll look for that question next time. I just reactivated.
Yes, I need to send you the thread. I need to send you the thread of like all the other men, because some of these men I'm like, oh, you're trash. And then you see them in their photos like fucking holding a fish. And I'm like, yeah, it checks out.
Hey,
but there were some men that were just like, they had such a wholesome...
I might hold it up, but you just be like...
I know, but you're
I want to take a picture like that one day. I just want to be like...
No, you don't.
I want to be stereotypical.
We like fish. You with a dog in a truck with your
I
gun rack on the back.
There has been a time...
Wearing camo.
I wanted to joke about doing this, but I wanted to take all the very stereotypical pictures that I guess a lot of girls have told me see on their dating app. And I want to take the one with the dog, the fish, and I guess there's another one. And I just want to put them on my Instagram and see what people are saying. Like, dude, why are you taking these pictures? Oh, there's the guy that sits on the trunk of his car. You know, I've done that already, so I might post that together. And then the nonchalant catch me off guard picture when I'm not looking at the camera, I've done that quite a bit.
The gym photo, you need to take a photo of you like hunched over on like on the bench. Yes. In the gym. You
know, well, I try to make this might be, I don't know what T version this is, but I mean, as I guess uniqueness is something that I do look forward to, and assertiveness. So even in my dating profiles that I had on like when Tinder was young, and I mean, I still haven't changed them. So Tinder and Hinge, but Hinge makes you have to have multiple different components so that it's easier to start conversations. But I used to give myself quotes from magazines. So I had a quote on my dating profile that says amazing. And it was like from Obama. And then another quote that said, oh, he's amazing in bed. And that would be like from the Playboy magazine. And then I had one from the Revard Report.
From a fortune cookie?
And every time people would match with me, they're like, yo, this is the wildest bio that I've ever seen. I was like, yeah, because I know that from stories that I've heard that people are really basic when it comes to these like Tinder bios. So I was like, I'm gonna just try to be out there and do something really, really different. So even today, like I haven't checked my Tinder in like a year, but even today, I'm pretty sure people read it and they're like, that this man get quotes from. Oh, I have one from Superman too. The one from Superman says he's my hero. So that's
Oh my God. Well, now you need to add your favorite animals, plural.
Yeah.
Because
So they can see.
I love it. I love it. I'll have to send you the thread because it was actually pretty good. I was, and I'm pleasantly
Interesting.
surprised, but not surprised at the same time because I expect you to have good answers. I would have been more surprised if you'd have been like,
Lion,
there's
shark, and dog. It's like, all right.
Yeah. And then the Black Panther one actually is really interesting because I was today years old, that I learned that Black Panthers actually are one of the few felines that can create melanin.
I did not know this.
Yes. And so I'm just kind of like, we love a colored queen. So
It
for
is,
your family that's listening,
yeah,
we're trying. We are actively trying to get him.
Don't get their hopes up.
A girl.
Then once we start the conversation, and it'll last for like 3 weeks, and then they'll be upset after that. So everybody who's listening to the podcast, and if you're single, you know your parents are hounding you for grandkids. Don't even lie and say they don't. And if they don't, they means they're secretly doing it. And everybody just, I don't know what it is with parents, but you get to a certain age and they're like, we do not care about you anymore. Where's my grandkids? So that is where my family is right now.
They're going to stop giving you money at Christmas in hopes that they can sweat you out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. My dad is like, look, I don't care if this person has one tooth, no knees, just stinks, just somebody. I was like, Dad, you don't care about my happiness? He said, no, I don't.
No,
just give me my grandkid. And also, my dad's losing the competition against his siblings. So his siblings all have more grandkids, and then my dad is looking around at the family reunion. He's like,
it ain't me.
A few months ago, he's like, I ain't gonna be here for much longer. I said, Dad, don't say stuff like that.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna wait.
Oh my God. Don, if I become that with Luke, you have to center me, be like, remember?
Oh, I can't, because it's all in cycles. So I'm laughing about it now, but 30 years from now, when I have my children and then they don't give me any grandkids, I'm probably just be like my dad. I don't know what it is about parents, but something happens when your kids get older. You just like, well, now that's over with. I want a grandkid. That is the payment back, and you're not delivering it. And every year they don't deliver, you just get more and more upset.
Oh, as soon as you get married, they're like, when are you having a baby?
Yeah.
I'm like, the fuck? Yeah, because obviously, like Larry and I did it in reverse. We had Luke, and then we got married, but still, they were like, doesn't Luke want a sibling? I'm like,
yeah.
Do you want
you can't just have one. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, you can't have one.
See, I told my dad this like a few weeks ago. I was like, when I have a kid, I'm bringing him over to your house every summer. And my dad's like, no, you're not. But I'll take him for a few weekends. I said, wait a second. You were literally hounding me for grandkids, and you've been hounding me for a decade now.
Correct.
And then when I say I have one, you don't want to take care of them. They're like, nah. I ain't. But he says that. But I'm pretty sure he'd be like, oh my God.
It changes, man.
Yeah.
They move. They move for the baby. Like, it's a whole. My in-laws had lived in San Angelo for over 20 years. Luke came around. They packed up and moved. My mother-in-law had never, didn't even drive when she first moved here. Like, she didn't.
You were like,
yeah, because she would not drive in a big city. Like, she didn't, she barely, she had told me that when they first moved to San Angelo, it took her years before she had to, it took her, basically the need to have to drive the kids to school, that she finally drove in San Angelo. So when she moved to San Antonio, it was very similar. She did not know how to drive on, major highways or anything. And they fucking moved to San Antonio because of Luke. They will, all these made up restrictions and, it all goes away when the kid comes here. All of a sudden, they're leaving jobs and careers to come and hang out with the kids. So shout out to good grandparents that do that, because I will say I have really great in-laws that love my kid.
I don't know what the pull is, but something about it. It's something about it. You're just like, I don't care about life anymore except for my grandkids. I'm like, I guess so. One day, fingers crossed. Is that our light tea segment, or brewed, or was it brewed tea, hot tea?
We did hot tea.
Cold tea.
Yeah.
Controversial tea.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't talked about elections in Texas. Do you have any quick takes on that?
I'm not surprised at how things went down.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, everybody who was supported by and endorsed by Trump won,
Yeah.
which is high-key very unfortunate because we lost. I think we've officially lost our moderate Republicans, the Republicans that are willing to do bipartisan negotiations. Lujan, who I think he thought for sure was a shoo-in and everything, he lost. Paxton won against Cornyn. That's going to be interesting to see how that shakes up with the Tallarico, November ballot. What I will say is when you went down ballot and you looked at, the voter ratio of who showed up for each party, Republicans still showed up. I was looking down and looking at the railroad commission, right? And that's Don's favorite seat, right?
Yes,
Is that
yes,
one or
it
is it
is.
agriculture?
No, the
Yes.
railroad commissioner.
And so when I saw that, I think it was a total of like 700,000 Republicans that went to go vote in that runoff versus I think it was like 250,000 people, Democrats that went to go vote in the Democratic runoff. That ain't gonna win the seat, And so
I don't think they know what a railroad commissioner is.
I don't think, well, fair, but they still showed up. And I don't know if it was because of the Paxton Cornyn that they showed up. I'm assuming so.
Probably.
But it still is worrisome when we look at, Democrats really wanting to turn over seats like the governor's seat, the attorney general's seat. Like they were not showing up. Like we're not showing up to vote. And I hope that this is not the litmus that we're going to be taking to see, hey, are we going to be able to flip these seats in November? But it is unfortunate that we did lose some of the Republican elected officials that could negotiate with the Democrat. And I think because they didn't always kiss the ring to Trump, it's really showing how the Republican Party has evolved to being very much a ring-kissing party. And if you go publicly against anything that is currently on the agenda for Trump, then you basically kissed your career goodbye. And that's kind of scary.
Today's extremist is tomorrow's moderate. Is that ain't that the terminology? So what we find is extreme today and then gets in the conservative party, tomorrow it will be like, oh, this is how it is. So that means we will continuously head down this track. I mean, we have had conversations with people who are advocating for better civic engagement and knowledge and things of that nature. One could argue, I mean, the political scientist in me believes that this last 10 years of politics in the United States have definitely been like a revolutionary period where a lot of the rules and regulations and norms of the past are thrown out the window. So if we are, I mean, one way you could say it is like, yeah, maybe the Republican Party is becoming more of like a single issue, like single focus party on whatever Trump wants. But then you would think that means that there's opportunities in other parties for people to grow as well. Like, but then that would take courage of the individual to be like, well, I guess I can't do it in my current party, so let me switch to another one. But and really heavily one party states that we have in the South, I think it would take a revolutionary type figure to try to get people to do that, because otherwise you're not really going to do it. You're not really going to take that step out and take the arrows. And then on top of that, we always say that there are quite a few Democrats that live in rural and southern states, but they don't get mobilized because what is the railroad commissioner? These people who are running in office for railroad commissioner, I'm absolutely certain they're not campaigning on the south side of San Antonio. They probably think I'm just going to contact the few people who know about my position instead of going to different places on Dallas and Houston and Austin and being like, hey, y'all, I'm running for railroad commissioner. Would you like to register to vote and vote for me? So there are avenues to victory, but you just got to be innovative enough and skillful enough to get them. And I feel like a lot of times in Texas over the last 10 years, and I mean, I haven't been there in Texas 10 years yet, but it almost seems like we have a lot of people who get these positions and they don't do anything to expand their base. And it's like, so y'all just content with losing. So I mean, it's weird. Like you would think you lose so many decades in a row that you're like, you know what, enough is enough. We're shaking the table and we're doing something completely different. But that could be another conversation for another time.
Yeah. We'll see. November's just going to be here in the blink of an eye, and it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes up. But it's going to be super critical that those rural voters and those rural Dems, if they want to change Texas and they want to make it actually blue, then they're going to have to show up to vote. You don't have to
Yes.
like everything that they say. It's about principle, not person at this point. And we just have to start the momentum somewhere. So we'll see.
We'll see. So you've gotten to the end of another Two Texas Teas podcast, and you would like to stay connected. You would like to learn a little bit more. You would like to be a sponsor. You would like to buy some merchandise. Well, do we have a website for you? You can always visit the Two Texas Teas website, twotexasteas.com. You can take a look at some of our previous episodes. You can look at some of our amazing merchandise we have. If you know someone who would like to be a guest on our podcast, your friend, your baby mama, your aunt, your uncle, somebody, just tell them to go to our website. We are accepting all applications. Just sign up and we'll put you on the show. If you're a sponsor and you're like, I need to get more customers somehow. Well, do you know that the Two Texas Teas podcast has like 1 million listeners like every week? Did you know this? And they're all located in Central Texas. So if you want to sponsor or creating ads with us, we'll even do that. Like if you don't really know what you want to say, we'll do it. I mean, we got AI, we'll figure it out. So if you're a nonprofit, a business, you're a person selling a shirt, a product, or something else of that nature, just go to twotexasteas.com. Let us know, or you can send us an email at ads@twotexasteas.com, or you can just reach out to us on social media and be like, hey, I saw your podcast and I would like to be an advertiser or on your podcast, and we will happily have you on. The rates are still our launch rates, so they are pretty easy. I think pretty easy on the wallet. So just let us know, and then we'll put you in front of our millions of followers. So thank you all for listening to another episode, and we shall see you in 2 weeks, unless we have a special episode that comes out. But go Spurs, go.
Go Spurs, go, baby.